Kimistry. You have tuned in to sharing divine guidance and counsel through the art of tarot. Open your minds and your hearts. Welcome the host, Kimistry.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Welcome all, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to be in the land of the living this morning. We are alive, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. What greater way to wake up and see the sun and feel the sun shining on you. So I'm just happy to be here. Welcome all. God, I'm going to put my glasses on because although I like to be cute, I can't see right now. We praying over these eyes, all right? Welcome to my show, all of you that are joining us today. This is Sharing Divine Guidance Through the Art of Tarot. I am your host, Kimistry, the Star Soul Alchemist. I have my beautiful, beautiful audience on Facebook Live. If you guys want to join me on YouTube Live, you can YouTube Vent Radio and TV and join us live. If you want to call in and join in the conversation, I welcome you to call in at 248-429-7224. Glad to have you all with me. I am so grateful for this opportunity to have moved from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. God knows my heart that early morning rising was early kind of, it put me in a different place. But so I got time to get my mind right. I'm off of coffee, so I don't have that kick me up. So I'm looking to connect with divine so awesomely that's like my morning cup of joe. So being at 12 o'clock is really, really a blessing for me. Again, I am your host, Kimistry, the Star Soul Alchemist. If you would like to join me on YouTube Live, you can join me at Vent Radio on YouTube, Radio on TV, I'm sorry. And then call in if you would like to join in the conversation, 248-429-7224. Before I get started with my show this morning, I would like to give some shout outs to a few people. I was kind of absent for those of you that joined me at 7 a.m. the last few weeks for various reasons we won't get into, but God knows how to make all things new. So I didn't get a chance to give honor to all of those people who have been a support to me. So I will be using as much time as I need to get all of them in. So today I would just like to give a shout out to two young ladies that joined me last week. I want to give a shout out first to Diva D Worldwide, who just got off the air. And I just thank her so much. She brought me into the Sunday Empowerment Show, and she has been a blessing to me in so many ways. She allows me when she's busy to join in and take over her shows, which that to me is so honorary that she would allow me to do that. So I want to give shout out to Diva D Worldwide first, and then to the two young ladies that joined me last week on her show, or 2 weeks ago, on her show, Tibra Whitsett and Tanya Bollinger. I really would like to thank them for supporting me and joining me. I want to give a shout out to my mom, Sharon Petway, who has been a great supporter of mine all my life. And she was one of the people who I shared information about on that particular topic and show, which we will bring back because Diva D said in January she's gonna give me another chance to take over show, and I think we want to stay in that vein of health is wealth. I just feel that out in my soul, so I'm hoping that my mama can get over her stage fright and come and join me. I would like to give a shout out to Shirley Hollowell, who has been my secretary, my friend, my biggest campaigner and supporter. I continuously want to send her love and light. To Barbara Williams, who has supported me financially, I want to thank her. There are so many other people that I will be giving a shout out to. So like, share, and join this radio station. Help me build, and help us build this station. So if you're waiting for your name to be called out, you never know when you might be the one. So join me, and hopefully something I say hallelujah, will inspire you to share, like, and be a part of our community. For those of you who may not know me at this particular spot, I am, I consider myself a teacher slash a wannabe counselor. I'm going to be training for that hopefully in year 22. No, I'm going to be training to be a counselor in the year 22. My background was a minister for 22 years, and now I have shifted to other arenas. Oh, we got a call. Other arenas, and I also am a tarot reader, and that's a whole nother story. And if you want to know, you call me or inbox me. You can locate me on Facebook at Kimistry Tarot, and inbox me if you have any question about my destiny and my journey. So in the last few weeks, we're gonna wait on this call. I gotta put my headphones. Grand Rising. Okay. For the caller to just call, if you can call back, we'll be glad to take your call. Sorry we missed you, but we are here waiting on you to call. So, for those that don't know, I've been teaching on the 12. Here we go. Grand Rising.
Well, hello. How are you?
I am blessed. How about yourself?
I am great, Kimistry. This is Sonia Purdy joining in on your show.
Hi, Miss Sonia. How are you? Long time.
I know, right?
Right.
I just been chiming in on all the shows. I'm here celebrating my mom's birthday, and I said, we need to call Kimistry.
Well, praise God. Send her love and light and tell her to keep living, keep grooving, and keep enjoying this thing we call life. What does the card say for her? Now, listen.
And that's what she wants to know now. She's sitting here. I'm going to pass this on to her. Her name is Vanessa.
Okay, well, y'all better shift me. And I'm going to tell you something. Every morning before I leave out, when I decide to come here, I let Spirit direct me to the cards. And before I can even get up good, I was told to bring the sacred self-care cards. And these cards are about things that we need to do just to love on ourselves more. And I was obedient. As soon as I got downstairs from my meditation, the cards was sitting there staring at me, so I know it was in God's divine timing. So I'm going to say a quick prayer since you're asking for a card, and this is just the deck we have, and we just going to see what Spirit got to say to, what's your mom's name? Vanessa. All right, Miss Vanessa. So, Father, we just thank you for this day, for truly it's the day that you have made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for our archangel, spirit guides, and ancestors and our spiritual team. We thank you for the message that you might have for Miss Vanessa. We thank you in advance. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. So I'm going to pull and just see what do we have for Miss Vanessa. All right. So this says look for fairies. So that might sound a little off the wall or extreme, but looking for fairies just simply means look for all of the magic in life. And I just pretty much said that to you as I wished you your birthday salutation. There are some changes that you're going through, and I don't know if you're feeling a little ungrounded or a little off balance, but this card is just saying, listen, look for the bright side of things. Look for the fairies. Look for those things that's going to bring you joy to keep your spirits up. So I don't know if this is a good day to celebrate. So I don't know what you've been going through, but I'm having a sense that this is just saying go higher. There's so much magic. There's so many more things. You got so much life still ahead of you. So enjoy that. Celebrate that. Stay rooted and stay grounded in everything that you know that God has prepared for you. You are not forgotten, and that I'm listening, okay? I'm listening. I'm going to pull another card. And I'd also look at a little numerology. In the card it says 30. And 30, it reduces down to a 3. So you're looking for some type of cooperation, some people to come together to assist you with finding the magic. So let's say, and 3 in the tarot is the number of celebration. So again, this card is saying celebrate. Go into this time and period and just have yourself a ball. I'm going to pull one more card for you. Welcome, welcome to my Facebook friends and all of those on the other platforms. We're talking to Miss Vanessa, and she's called in to get her card, 2 pulled and 2 jumped out. Oh no, 3. So I'm going to read these real quick, but I'm going to choose the one that means the most to interpret it. So one says build strength, sync with the moon, and sing. So again, with this being your birthday celebration, I'm sure there's going to be some singing going on, and singing also raises your vibration. This morning, even though my time has changed, I find myself been struggling lately with feeling tired, and as I was coming, I decided to put on shackles on my feet, off my feet, so I can dance, and instantly it put me in a mood where I felt better. And so that might be a message to you if you feel the need to be more vibrant, sing, and maybe I don't know if Miss Purdy sings, but I just saw you singing to your mother. Yes, yeah.
Kimistry, yes, she's been singing all of her life, but due to different situations, she's lost a little bit of her song. So you right on point.
Okay, so this is Spirit saying once she finds those fairies, those magic, she's gonna sing about that, and that's gonna bring her this peace, and it's in her heart that it is that Spirit is pushing her, and also building strength. You just said she's a little weak. Building strength. The more she concentrates and focuses on the melodies in her heart, the stronger she's going to become. In this particular card, I'm going to show the audience in the building the strength. Oh, okay, this way. Building the strength. She also has like this third eye on her head, another eye on her head, which represents the third eye. And this is simply telling me the song she shall sing it's never been heard before. The song she shall sing is going to come so deep from within that y'all might need to write that thing out. Okay, I'm just telling you like it is. And the moon card, you also had a moon card, which also talks about the inside job. The moon represents your intuition, following that thing that's within. So if mom is really, really wanting to redevelop her mental, that's what I'm hearing. Redevelop, to refocus the mental, look deep within and be one with God, and she will get the melody. So I celebrate her. I hope this message helped in some way with today, and the lesson will hopefully kind of put everything in the if you've been feeling, if our audience been feeling a little off, I really hope today's topic kind of helps us reevaluate, refocus, and find the melodies and the fairies in life. And that is the message to everybody. We can all take it and resonate. All of us should be looking for the fairies in life, the magic, the adventure, the thing that you've never seen before. It's time to open our eyes and look at the magic of life. So I hope that helped a little bit, and you give mom a big hug from me.
Well, let her speak. Go on, speak, girl. Let her know. Hi.
Hi. Well, listen, I send love and light to you. Create those melodies, create those songs, and you enjoy your day to the fullest. And I just send you a happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you, and many more.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. Peace and blessings to you. Until the next time.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Be blessed. All right. We got to get into our message today. Okay. Who's laughing at me? Don't laugh at me. All right. So we get into our message, y'all. We have been teaching on, I keep saying we. So when I say we, I'm going to go with we, because I ain't by myself. I am always praying to be in alignment with God. That's something I'm really, really trying to be intentional with. That when he move, I move, and when I move, he moves. So we're one, okay? So now I can get over, because I'll be like, why do you keep saying we? Who else are you talking about? So now it's okay. We, me, and the divine. All right. So in the last few weeks, for those who have not joined us, I'm going to go over some of the ones that we have talked about and tell you where we are now and get into the lesson. And I pray that this lesson will help. All right. So For those of you who might want to go and kind of pick this apart for yourself, these are the 12 laws of the universe. And I chose these laws that came to me really because I don't teach on anything that I don't feel led to do. And these laws are really helping me hack my life to be more intentional. And so the first law was a law of oneness. We have the law of vibration, the law of correspondence, the law of attraction, the law of inspired action, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, the law of cause and effect, the law of compensation, which was really great for me. And for those of you that watched that show, yes, I broke down in tears. And yes, I called my mama and I fixed that. And her and I was able to come together. Me and my family, we had been in separation. And God healed that through the message. So sometimes, we have to change how we see things. And a great lady who's sitting on the other side of me said, is it better to be right or to be happy? And I was happy to be in alignment with my family. I chose happiness. And sometimes when you guys are going through something, this is a nugget. And the message pretty much said, all of us are healers. You just have to make a choice to heal. And healing situations sometimes doesn't require you to go back and revisit the whole thing. It's just walking in love. I called my mom. I said, Mom, I love you and I miss you. She said, I love you and I miss you too. Bada bang, bada boom. Bada bang, bada boom. We don't have to go revisit it. Just move in the law of forgiveness, the law of love, and let everything else. God worked everything out. He know what he's doing. He know the right time and the perfect timing. So I just wanted to send that praise report that I am reconnected with my family. It had been months. I'm praying for my sister that she reunites and joins with us, but everything has to do in God's timing. So we're just going to let God be God. So now, today, we're on the 9th law. I got 3 more laws to go. If you have not seen the other videos, go back and watch them. They may help you in some way if you're ready to hack your life and live a more happier, abundant, on purpose, engaged life, okay? And you guys pray for me. I haven't had any broadcasting training or anything. I'm just coming as Kimberly Renee Worth, Kimistry, the Star Soul Alchemist, willing to give you what I am eating myself. And so I don't have all the answers, but every day, every week, I'm digging how to be a better version of myself. So if you want to be a better version of yourself, you have been walking in any vibration that doesn't resemble happiness and love and peace and comfort. These laws, if you could look for them closely, baby, when I tell you, little by little, you'll find that light at the end of the tunnel. So the law of relativity is the law that we're on today. And I had this one was rough on me, you had to kind of pick it apart. And I needed to find the simplest way to share it so that, one, I understand it, and that, two, I can teach it. So the law of relativity says everything is a spectrum of expression. And there is I got to be able to read more than one perspective on any situation or challenge. Okay. So it's all on how you see things. It's all on how you look at things. And the law of relativity says everything is relative. Okay. There's nothing disconnected, everything is one. And generally, there's another definition for the law of relativity is the law of comparison. But we got to be very careful with the comparison that you don't misdiagnose or mischaracterize your comparison. So, for instance, I'm going to use these as an example, these books. So this is a book. And this might be, let's say this is the only book in the world, all you know it to be is a book. It's neutral. Okay. However, if other books come along, and I'm going to, or other sizes, this is a large book, and then I compare it to this, now we know that this is a big book compared to this particular card. So you only know that this is a big book by comparing it to something else. Or if I compare this book to this pad is bigger than the book. So now we have given it an identification, okay? The same laws apply in your life. When we go through certain things, remember, So a man thinketh, so is he. And when we can realize that some of our thoughts, every show you're going to hear about, we've been programmed, our environment taught us certain things. It depends on what information you were fed, depends on how positive or negative you are. And the more negative information you allow yourself to play in your psyche, you allow and play in your mind, it becomes part of your reality. It forms your world. It forms how you think. It forms how you move in life. I'm not teaching woo-woo. I'm just helping people look at their lives a little more differently. So the example, I'm going to wait till I get to the example. I'm going to continue to read my notes. So sometimes you stick to that, you don't miss nothing. So in other words, we are the ones that assign meanings to things. So we can choose to regard this as bad or alternatively as happening in our favor. And I chose out, although I use this tarot, I feel like everything has information, and I still use the Bible. God told me to use, he said I was going to need it, and I do. So Romans 8:28 is a great example of this idea about changing how we see things. It says, we know that all things work together for the good of them that love God, and to them that are called according to his purpose. We have to understand God's purpose is for us to live a good life. When he created the universe, he said it is good. When he created the grass, he said it was good. So God is a good vibration, and he wants you to operate under a good vibration. We have to understand what it is that we put out, we get back. So we talked about the law of compensation, the law of sowing, reaping. So we have to guard our minds. And how do we do that? We have to start paying attention to what we are thinking. How do we view things? And allow ourselves to be more intentional about being engaging about what am I thinking? And how do I transform those thoughts? How do I transmute them? And I'm going to give you some ideas from philosophers or other philosophies, things that you can use. It says, look for the silver lining. You guys heard that, instead of looking at the negative, let's find a silver lining in your situation. There's another one said, there's a rainbow at the end of the storm. We're going to go through stuff, but know that because God loves us so much and all things work together, that at the end of this storm, there is a rainbow. And then you got to ask yourself, what did I learn from the storm? What did it clean up? What did it blow away? There's something that happened that you were supposed to gather from the situation. And in church, we say trouble don't last always. And how do we know trouble doesn't last always? Because we're in alignment with a God that would not allow us to deal with more than we can bear. Okay, he doesn't do that. That doesn't happen. Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers. Now listen, this is really helping, and I'm going to bring this all together. I'm going to read this again. You can either take a situation and make it a negative one, which it could be. So for instance, I'm going to go to my example, and then I'll come back to that. We often say, and I'm going to spell it because I don't want to say it, but BROKE. I am, and you just claimed it. You identified with I am BROKE. The law of relativity says, and I broke it down. Look, I think I did pretty good with this. I don't know. And I'm going to use this as a hack. The first thing that I believe that you should do when a thought comes to you or something comes out of your mouth, life and death lies in the power of the tongue. And before it even gets to your tongue, it's in your head. So a man thinketh, so of he. So if you are BROKE, that's what you're dealing with, and you don't want that to be the case, you have to step back. So I call it the pause. Okay? Notice what you are thinking or what you have said. And then the law of relativity says this. Now, this is how I do it. I am in alignment with God, and everything God made was good, and it is perfect. So I want to get in alignment with that thought. So I'm neutral on the subject. So I see the broke there. I see what it looks like, but I'm going to, because my thoughts transforms my reality, I want to get in a neutral state, and then ask myself, is there another way to look at broke? And then the law of relativity said, compared to what? Now, you might look in somebody in third world countries and realize you really not broke. It could be so much worse than it is. And so you've only compared your broke to something else. But if you really, really took a look at it, because you're in a neutral ground, you're looking with the eyes of God, and you want to transmute it, you do not want to look at the negative parts of it. You've used other examples as an indicator that the potential for something other than BROKE is on the other side of goodness. So now we want to say, how do I change that idea? Because you might have some credit cards. There's a couple of dollars on the credit cards. You ain't broke. You might can cook your butt off and bake cakes. You ain't BROKE. I did just say the word BROKE, because you have something in your possession that can change that reality. But you haven't thought of it. You're only looking at the situation, but there is a solution to your situation. So instead of looking at the negative, we want to find the silver lining. We want to find the rainbow. We want to find what it is that is going to take us to the next level. So the neutral, and remember what I'm saying, being neutral is in alignment with God and looking at it with the eyes of God. So I know my God owns all the cattle on 1,000 hills, and if I'm in one with him, I can never be BROKE. I'm just, something is out of whack with my life, something I haven't thought of, an idea that I haven't created. So now I'm beginning to think, how am I not in alignment with God that will change that negative thought into something more positive? So what we want to do is we want to find the light. And then the next thing is, once you start comparing and realizing that you have so many things that you could do, so many things you could create in reality to change that situation, you want to be thankful. God, I thank you that you've opened up my understanding, that I am not BROKE, but I can transform it, I can transmute it. So I say now the next step would be, so you pause, take a look at what you're thinking, what you're saying. You begin to get into a neutral place, which is in alignment with God, and then begin to shed some light on what you could do differently. And now you want to rewrite the story. Rewrite the narrative. And I wrote a prayer out. Sometimes you got to write out just to see what you could be saying and what you could be thinking. And these are practice laws, y'all, because we're so used to just flowing with whatever comes through our head, and we don't realize, no matter if you know the laws or not, as you're thinking negative, you're going to create more negative scenarios in your life. I'll give you an example, just on a negative, something I need to transmute. I do these readings for people, and I do it not for the money, because I love helping people, and I like to, if they're in a state of low understanding or just feeling some kind of way, when I get done with them with these readings, people feel better, they're smiling, they feel lighter, and that's why I do it. And people at every end of the reading be like, why don't you have a YouTube channel? Why don't you start? And I'll be honest, I haven't done it. Partly because there's a measure of fear for me, because I have been comparing myself with other readers who have been doing it so much longer than me. So I feel like I got to do a whole bunch of other stuff before I can get there. And Spirit keeps telling me and making it so that I start now. So I have to really sit down. And I said, I'm sitting down with myself this week. I'm going to spend some time with me. And I'm going to rewrite that story and then pray in, God, what do I need to get going? Because I don't have all the tools either yet, but I cast all of my cares. You guys cast all your cares. Those things is missing from the re-ideal or the rewriting of your program or your ideas. We have to trust that God wants you to do what you love. I was listening to the ladies that came before us, and they were talking about do what you love. And the one writer who has written a book says she wished if she could go back, she would been writing a long time ago. So sometimes it just takes you realizing and examining yourself and seeing how you are holding yourself back. Okay. So I rewrote the BORKE. And I hope I can read my writing. That's one thing I probably need to type this stuff out so I won't have a problem reading my own writing. So this is how you rewrite the story. You are a healer. You are a writer. You are a co-creator with God. And all we are doing is coming in alignment. We're no longer going to go to the negative side of things. This is going to come because that's what we have been used to doing. But now you're going to take back your power. So it says, God, I thank you for what I have. So that's being grateful that I don't have much, but what I do have, okay? I see that I have so much to be grateful for. You are the God of increase and abundance. And because we are one, I welcome the divine inspiration for multiplying and expanding what I already possess. I thank you for new ideas, partnerships, flowing finances that are coming into my experience. I have faith and trust that my every need will be supplied. I am aware through your love that I must take up my bed and then take action, so that I thank you for in advance for the strength to do the things you have inspired me to do with grace and wisdom. Now, does that sound so much better than BROKE? And as I was writing here, just really thinking about the application of this, Spirit gave me in the Bible. It's in the book of Luke, and I didn't bring my other phone out. The book of Luke, the woman who gave the mite. The story goes where they were all bringing their goods to the church to help the needy. And all the rich people came and they gave out of their abundance. And then the woman, this little old woman with 2 mites, threw her mites into the pot. And Jesus looked on her and said, out of all of these people, she has given more. And we've also often heard that preached, but now I want to kind of look at it from a different perspective. You can either look at it, that woman felt like she was just as grand with them two mice as the rich people. She felt she was rich. She looked at herself in comparison to the people who had nothing, because those people were bringing so that other people could have. They were bringing in community wealth. And although she had little, she decided that those people were worse off than her, and she was moving in faith that if she sowed her seed and not look at the lack, that she would have abundance. I'm just as abundant as these rich people. So again, this whole idea about the law of relativity is taking back control over your life, redefining, engaging with yourself about the thoughts that we have. And as I go back to the cards for the young lady who called in, I thank God for them. As I'm talking to you guys, I'm thinking about these fairies. We must find the magic in life. We must create that magic by seeing things from a different perspective, changing your story, changing your narrative. I wrote something for those of you who might join me on Facebook. You know, I realize when you type out long stuff, folks don't like to read. You make it short and sweet, they'll read it. But there are things that sometimes I share my ideas, you know, and if you go and read it, I was talking about relationships. And if you're in a relationship that may be falling apart, you know, taking the pause and really looking at your situation and ask yourself. We always have to question ourselves. It's so easy to blame others. It's so easy to want a scapegoat for our situation. But then asking yourself, because we are the ones who change. As you change your ideas, as you change your mindset, as you change how you see things, then the world around you changes. Now, I use an example. If you're in that situation and you guys aren't quite relationship-wise getting along, then you say, well, have I dropped the ball? Have I been loving? Have I been compassionate? Do I even listen to this joker anymore? You know, do I turn a deaf ear? Am I always wanting my own needs met? Did I think about his or her needs? Have this person grown and evolved and I'm not growing and evolving with? And you really have to ask yourself abundance of questions so that you can transmute and change yourself. So if you can answer those questions honestly, looking at yourself, that's the pause. Get in neutrality and say, okay, I'm in alignment with God. How do I fix me to be a better me, to fix those answers, to become a new version of myself. Because you can't change the person you're dealing with. You can only change yourself and how you see things and how you operate. So as you begin to change and say, yeah, I haven't been that communicative. No, I haven't been that passionate. I stopped listening. I'm so busy that I don't care about whether or not they're missing me or not. So I turn the cold shoulder. I'm too tired to sleep with them. All the things that go with the feelings of relationship, and answer that honestly. And then start changing it. Taking action. So now I've turned the light on myself. I paused. I went into neutrality. Neutrality is always going to be how God sees it. And now I'm turning the light on me. Then you take action. So I used an example. You start changing yourself, and then you offer offerings to this person, and you begin to show them love, and you begin to give it. Now that doesn't mean that person gonna accept your offering. They can still be angry and reject you, but you still have to do what is right, and you're going to continue to change. And what changes sometimes do is make you realize that sometimes we've outgrown relationships. Sometimes you've outgrown that little house that whatever it is you outgrown. I want to kind of stick close to this relationship thing, but we outgrow things, and changing yourself will help you see that. Now, there may be a case where they do take it, and thank God for the person who accepts the new version of you. Now, if you're in a relationship, I'm just giving you an example, and you see that the person is hard to take accept the change, the new version of yourself, and they walk away. You didn't lose anything. You forgave yourself. You forgive them. You're a new version of yourself. And guess what? When you start over in a new relationship, are you going to take that old version of yourself, that old program that didn't work? No, because you realize after you change yourself, the old program didn't work. It kind of failed. You messed up, but you asked God for forgiveness, and hopefully you ask that person to forgive you as you move forward and say, listen, I haven't been this, and I want to do this. And so either the person again can move past. Then that's something that God got to deal with them at the end of the day. It's being forgiving and being loving and realize we make mistakes in this life. So at the end of the day, the whole point of this is changing you. It's always going to be beneficial to you. Realigning yourself with the way God, what we say, what would Jesus do? And a lot of times we don't do what Jesus would do. So I want to leave that right there. I think that I'm hoping that I simplified that as good as I could. We're reclaiming our lives. We're reclaiming our minds. Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. If you look at Christ's life, he never focused on the mourners. When death came, he focused on the solution. He didn't focus on what brought negativity. Let me go back to the scripture I said I was going to read. Philippians 4:8. Finally, my brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are good, of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. So this is scripture is telling you, listen, refocus how you look at things. Focus on the thing that's going to bring you life. Focus on the fairies. Focus on the magic. Focus on the good, because we're going to always be in situations where not so pleasant things come to us. But the way you can see it, and the way the more you can change it, and the more you put your trust in that the universe only wants the best for you, and there's a lesson in that situation. And so you realize I'm an overcomer. So there's something I'm supposed to overcome in this particular situation. There's something I'm supposed to master. So we're becoming masters of our life. So with that being said, if you guys want to call, I am going to pull a few cards and just see what we can do in terms of really realign ourselves. And maybe that's why God chose the self-care cards for me. Call 248-429-7224. What can we do differently in order to be better versions of ourselves? How can we see ourselves that we might change our situations, change us first? You are the co-creator with God. How do we master our new programming? Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple of cards, and then I have something I'm going to read before my time is out. I also was led to open one of my books and read something, and I feel like it's so beneficial to the lesson today. All right, so this card says make a meal, and I instantly know what this is saying. So some of us have issues with maybe being a little bit on the heavier side or the unhealthier side, and in order to shift from an unhealthy living, we have to figure out what we have to do to be in alignment with healthier living. And this card is saying, listen, make your meals, change how you eat more healthier stuff. You see there's avocados and tomatoes and carrots and broccoli in this particular image. You know, we can't keep saying, oh, I can't lose weight. Oh yeah, you can. If you keep saying you can't, then you create the vibration of you can't. And your brain doesn't know the difference between I can and I can't. It's only going to do what you say it. So if you keep telling it that's exactly what you're going to get. So changing how you see food or changing how you see your health, and start reading on healthier issues, healthier things, and trying different things till you get the success you want. There is, a positive outcome that comes from changing your ideas about your health. And that positive outcome is skinnier you, a more healthier you, getting rid of one of them chins and a couple of extra side handles, and being able to get up the stairs. There is a benefit from changing you and changing your ideas, and being more conscious of what we put in our mouths. Okay, I'm going to pull another card, and then I'm going to read this last thing before I get out of here. You still have a chance to call if you would like a card for yourself. Call 248-429-7224. All right. And this is so funny. Okay, so universe is dealing with us in this health thing. It says sweet treats, and it's actually a 5 and a 0. 5 and a 0 is about the number, it reduces down to a 5. So this is a caution card for me. This card shows her having these muffins, but her head is saying, I know I need to eat these vegetables, but it's okay to treat myself. Just don't overdo it. So have a caution for yourself that I know that that I still want to enjoy my life in eating and being healthy, but every now and again I should treat myself. So I guess Spirit wanted to deal with this eating. Maybe it's too many juicy people around here. So maybe that's it. I'm gonna pull one more card just to see. All right, what else do you have for? And then I'm gonna read this last thing, I promise. And then I'm gonna get out the way for the next person. I'm so excited to be in this spot, and I hope you guys, something I say will help transform you. All right, so 2 cards came out. I'm just going to go over them. The Dream Journal. I said earlier that even though this is talking about dreams, I feel like sometimes we have to write out what it is we want from our life, and to see it on paper, and continue to go and visit it and see how you've overcome, how you have grown, and did you master any of those things? Did you do what you said you was going to do? And if you didn't, it's okay. Don't beat up on yourself. Taking your mind and say, okay, I missed the mark there. I'm going to go back and I'm going to make this happen. If you are dieting and you holiday took you off your course, okay, don't beat up on yourself. Go back in your mind, take that pause, get a neutral and say, okay, how do I get back on task? What do I need to do? And don't look at the negative. Don't focus, because you can say, well, shoot, I done messed up. I might as well keep eating till January. No, you only put yourself further backwards. So focus on the things that's going to get you back on track to where you need to be. This is all about being a happier, a more abundant you. And the last thing is, somebody need a massage. We need to detox through massage, get some of this stress off of us, and realize that you just need to take a break. That's more about taking a break and relaxing. So if you know you've been working overtime and you just overthinking, overworking, all of that, set in your mind to take some time out for yourself. So I'm going to read what came to me this morning, and I think it was great. And if you go back, I'm going to write this out myself and do some of the things. I find it hard. I love to read stuff, but actually putting in a plan is where I don't know why I don't like the plan. And that's something that I got to deal with. I just do stuff. I'm kind of like that wind that blows. And now I'm realizing you just can't keep blowing like the wind. You need to take some pauses and look at where you've been, what you've been through, what you want to do. And I sometimes refuse to do that. And I hear people do the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And they get to talk about writing. I stopped reading the book. I just telling y'all on myself. And I realize it's time to take the pauses. I have a friend, we talk, and he's constantly asking me these questions about my past. I can't answer them because for some reason, in some time in my life, I've blocked things. So now I decided I'm going to sit with myself and ask Spirit, what am I blocking that I need to release? What do I need to know about myself to be a better version of myself? So it's going to start with that. So I'm going to show you this card. It's called Intention. And it says, lacking personal direction, regret begets confusion and life. Wait a minute, I'm going to read from here. Lacking personal direction begets confusion and life as a pawn to someone else's game of chess. Woo, woo, woo. In other words, if you're not intentional about your own life, somebody else can play you and move you and manipulate you, and just your own subconscious. Not realizing your own subconscious mind is playing you, is playing chess with you, and you got to learn to be a player in the game of life. So I'm going to read this. It says, betrayal, heartbreak, and bewilderment follow the choices we allow others to make for us, or that we make for ourselves without clarity, deliberation, and conscious intentions towards what we most value. When we prioritize what is of greatest meaning and significance to us with conviction and integrity, we successfully cultivate an eternal state of abundant positivity, worthiness, and standards that our external lives eventually mirror back to us. The law of compensation. This card signifies a time to clarify your priorities and uncover your core values. Any choices clashing with these priorities, whether conscious or not, are where you give away your power. These are instances where someone or something else is in control. Unless you can reframe it to work according to the beautiful visions you have for your life, the featured guardian supports you in getting out of the situation of dynamic and reclaiming your power and autonomy. To know and to own your value, your values, your plans, and your non-negotiables is essential. It honors the pure source in both yourself and others to consistently act with transparencies regarding your objectives. So this is talking about know what you want and stand on that no matter what. Examine the main aspects of your life or what you wish were a part of the main aspects of your life. Perhaps it is helpful to visualize your life as a pizza, and each slice is an aspect of it. Name each aspect of your life, such as intimate relationships, career, spirituality, study, family, friends, health, home, passions, leisure, or travel. Write down your long-term vision for each aspect. If there is no long-term vision, simply make notes on what constitutes that slice of your life at present or would constitute it if you were present. Note whether you are functioning from a place of fear or love, passivity or confidence, confusion or purpose, lack or abundance for each. A helpful question for illuminating this is, what is my motivation and reason for doing or not doing such and such in this way? You fill in the blank. Highlight the aspects from a place of love. Cross out what is misaligned with your intentions. Put a square shape around what does not light you up. Draw a heart shape around what makes you afraid. Write about what is significant and further worth inquiry about your results. When you are ready, you are encouraged to pay attention to the heart shapes around your fears. That is where your focus, unpacking, and appropriate course of action hold the key to transforming your life. An additional exercise for further clarification is to consider the following concept. We create the external life that we are internally living. Then journal the implication this has for you currently and have for you if things were to significantly change from within. And so that is probably why the dream journal came out, because this is saying, listen, we need to really be intentional and get down to the bottom of changing our lives. And if you want change, change comes from within, and you will see the results from without. So with that being said, this concludes my hour. I hope something I said has helped you, because it's helping me every day. I get up in the morning and I say, God, how can I be in alignment with you? What do you have for me today on this path? And everything else that I cannot understand or understand, I give back. So with that being said, this is Kimistry, the Star Soul Alchemist, coming to you from our show, Sharing Divine Guidance from the Art of Tarot. If you would like to be a sponsor, I'm looking for sponsor people who want to give a shout out. You can email me at chemistry1111 radio and TV at gmail.com. Email me and I would love to give you a shout out on my show. If you would like a personal reading with me, you can call me at 313-828-6810. I do readings via personal and on Messenger. So join me on Facebook at Kimistry Tarot and on Instagram at Kimistry Tarot 1111. This has been Kimistry, the Star Soul Alchemist, giving you love, peace, and hair grease. Until the next time we meet, namaste, kings and queens.
Thank you for joining us on Sharing Divine Guidance and Counsel through the Art of Tarot. Tune in every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 7:55 a.m. right here on Empower Sundays on the Vent Radio Network. Like and share. Support the show. You can also be a guest or sponsor by sending an email to chemistry1111 radioandtv@gmail.com, or you can call 313-828-6810. Come back every Sunday to see